morning, welcome to Something Saturday. So we're carrying on with the designer series paper bonanza, maybe, I guess you could call it. So we've done the last 2 weeks with designer series papers and we're going to continue with it. And I made up a card the other night, last night in fact, that I really love. So I can't wait to show you. So let's go and do that. Okay, bye. Alrighty, so this is the card. So that's what it's like all folded up, and then it's like that. How gorgeous is it? I am so chuffed with this card. I just think it's really gorgeous, and I thought, well, I'll make up another one and show you it. And I've just realized that I forgot to pick a color to go around the outside of what I'm going to do. That's okay. We will find a color in a moment. So let's find glasses. That's always a good start. Oh no, I know what I've forgotten to do. Just before I do that, so I have been saying that, so over the last couple of weeks I've shown you a little bit of a sneak peek of some of the cards that we're going to be doing at the July class. I had a note about it somewhere. I wonder what I did with my note. That's not it. That's not it. Okay, excellent. Note's gone. Oh, here it is. Sorry. What does it say? It says Saturday, July the 15th. If I'm not quite sure what the date is, but I know that I've got booked by the 29th of June. If you book earlier, I think I said the 15th of June. If you book by the 15th of June, then you'll actually receive an extra gift. I'm not sure what the date is today, actually. Oh, there you go. Anyway, so some of the cards we're going to be making are this one. So it's like a little stage card. It's very cute. And this one, I love this with the little fox riding across the card. And this one. So I've got to have a glass of wine for your birthday. So that was the other thing that I wanted to show you today. Just as I say, those are just 3 of the cards that we'll be making at the workshop in July. So July the, oh goodness, Heather, July the 15th. So if you haven't booked, then make sure you find out about it and book. Let me know if you don't get my emails. I will add you to my email list and tell you more about it. We're doing kids and big kids. That's why they're all sort of like fun cards. All right. So to do this card, you need to start off with a half a sheet of A4. So we then cut our cardstock at 14.8 centimeters. This one's the scorer. This one's the cutter. So there we have it, 14.8 centimeters. Now I have my little planner. I need to score it at 5.25 centimeters. I know it sounds a bit weird, but 5.1, 2.5, and score. And then 2.7 is the next little section, which means that it's going to be 7.9. 7.9. There we go. Then we're going to turn it round and do the same thing again. 5.1. Hang on. 1, 2.5. And 7.9 is there. So you should end up with a line there, 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 and there. And then what you do is you're going to be scoring it that way and that way, that way and that way. And it should be exactly right, which is looking pretty good. Then you need your bone scorer, and we are just going to persuade that to sit flat. So that becomes the base of your card like that. So it's just in case anyone's looking at it and going, what does it look like, Heather? It's like that and like that. Excellent. All right. So then we need to cut pieces to sit onto here. And I've used this, I forget what it's called now, space paper. It's not called space, it's called stargazing. Fabulous paper. I don't have enough of it left to show you all of the sheets in one go, so I won't, because I do know that I have shown that off before, and I will put a link in my blog so you can actually check it out. So I was trying to work out which one of these I love more, which is really hard because I just don't know, and I kind of want to go with something that's actually across the centre there, which is also not terribly helpful. No. Okay, you know what? I am going to be really awkward, and I'm going to cut it so that I can actually use what's across the centre, because I really do like what's across the centre. So let's see, I think I'm going to take off that section. All right, so the mat that I actually put, so I put the mat to begin with, and then I put the designer paper on there. So the designer paper is 5.5 inches that way that I'm going to be using it. So let's do our 5.5 inches. That'll look pretty good. Let's put that to one side. I'm quite sure I'll find a use for those because they're quite lovely on the other side as well. So, and then, so do I want it to be more blue or do I want it to be more pink? And you know what, I actually really do fancy having, oh my goodness, Heather, I think I'm going to take off 3 inches to begin with, just because I know that'll look all right on a card anyway. So I'll take that off and put it over there. And then I reckon this will look pretty good on there. All right. So the first piece of designer paper that I want is going to be the 5.5 inches by 1.5 inches. So 1.5 inches. So you kind of want to cut it in order so that you end up with the pattern going all the way across. So that'll be my 1.5 inches. Then the next piece is going to be 3/4 of an inch. Where's my 3/4 mark? There it is. So 3/4 of an inch is that one. The third one is 1 3/4. Come on. 1 3/4. Then we're going to work our way backwards again. So it's going to be that size and then that size. So it's going to be 3/4, which is that one there. And it's going to be whatever the last one was, 1.5. I will put the measurements onto my blog for you, so you don't have to worry about it. And oh, look at that. I think I've probably got about a 3-inch. Oh, not quite a 3-inch section on that one. But again, that'll be quite a useful piece to go on a card. So I'm not worried about having extras like that. However, I do need to decide upon a matte colour for this. Oh, I don't know what to go with. That is really awkward. I may be cutting a little section out of the video while I make my decision. Okay, so I have decided on Misty Moonlight. So for the Misty Moonlight, I need the mat to be 14.5 centimetres long. Or high, I guess, is probably a better way of putting it. So 14.5 centimetres high. And then we need the first one as 5 centimetres. So we've got 5 centimetres. Then we've got 2.5 centimetres. I can't really see that. 2.5. Oh, come on. 2.5. Then we have another 5 centimeters again. So 5 centimeters, 2.5. Look at that, that's kind of convenient. And another 5. And yeah, you just end up with a little piece like that left over. So that's my pieces there. Now I reckon we'll pop that away and bring these pieces in. There's that, there's that, there's that, and there's that. Right. Oh, I think this one's almost finished. Oh, and there we go. That's the end of that. I don't know whether I've got another refill in here with me. When you have these, you literally just take off. I usually give it a bit of a clean after I've used one of them up. So you end up with a little bit of sticky sometimes on it. This part just comes out. And then you would take your next one, pop it in, and you're ready to go with it. Only I don't have another one, so we're just going to move on to a Stamping Seal Plus instead. So hopefully this will also work. There we go. Ooh, now I've got to work out which way up it was. Yes, that way. And there we go. So that's my first piece. Oh no. Should not have started quite so close to the edge, obviously. And that one. The aim is to try and get them so that they're the same distance away from the bottom. Three. Four and one more. Oh. It's very interesting, the Stamping Seal Plus. I don't know if you can see this. Hang on. I might just see whether I can bring it up here and sort of show you. Do you see how it's got those little lines in it? So when you come to the end of where you're going, you kind of almost have to break it at the line section. I'm just going to refocus down there again. That's better. It's not a bad thing, it's just different, that's all. There we go. Right, we've got all of those sorted now, so now we can add them onto the card itself. It is stronger than the other seal, than the basic seal. Oh. And every time I say, oh no, I haven't cut them the right length. How have I not cut them the right length? I thought I cut it to 14.5. Oh, I cut it to 14 point. No. Yes, I did. I cut it to 14.8. Ah, bother it. Right. Well, I am guessing then that it's exactly the right size for that. All right, well, looks like this one doesn't have a white gap going around at the outside of it. Ooh, crumbs. Better make sure I'm going to be putting this on right. Hang on a minute. I think it went that way. Yes. Okay, well, there you go. This is going to be going all the way to the bottom. There's just going to be a little white gap around the outsides. There we go. Okay. Oh, again. Obviously the trick with this is not to start quite so close to the edge. And make sure that you get this the right way up. Okay, yep. That way. And last but not least, done it again. Right, that's it. Just gonna pull that piece off. Let's go crossways. No! Oh, come on. All right, so clearly I don't quite have the hang of this. Oh my goodness me, what have I done to it? All right. It's not a very good advertisement for the Snail Adhesive Plus. But on a positive note, it is really sticky. All right. So that is how the base of the card turns out. And then it's just a case of decorating it. So what I'm going to do is I am going to use some of these. You'll notice on this card that I actually sort of like have some of the half pieces and things. So literally I've just used some of these pieces off the sides here because I don't see the point in not using them. And then you can just add them into like corners. So potentially I might put that one into that corner there, although I might actually be trimming it down slightly more so that it fits into there and doesn't overhang. Whoops, probably not in the screen there, sorry. But yeah, I might cut that piece out and have it hanging out over here or somewhere. So hop along to my blog and check out how I finish this card off even. Oh, and the other thing I was going to say is when I did the saying here, so I've done the saying on vellum because I wanted something that was sort of lightish and that you could see through a little bit. And I actually stamped it originally in StazOn. And the StazOn was taking quite some time to dry because inks do take a long time to dry on vellum. So I've ended up going over and heat embossing it with a bit of black. And I just thought I would mention the fact that it actually worked. I know I shouldn't be so surprised, but it did. It worked to heat emboss using StazOn, which is not normal at all, trust me, because StazOn usually dries really quickly. And I suspect if we were in the middle of summer that I wouldn't have been able to do that. But because the StazOn stayed wet on the vellum for quite a long time, and we are talking a couple of minutes because I ummed and ahed whether I should even heat emboss it in the first place. But it actually did work, so there you go. just something randomly different there. All right, so there will be a link below to check it out on my blog, and I will put all the measurements onto my blog. If you have enjoyed the video, don't forget to share the love. So share it around, get other people interested in it too, and come back and join me next week. Thanks so much for joining me. Bye.